And Jay Bilas is with us. He was on the call for that game Saturday. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline now. Hello, Jay. How are you today?
Great. How you guys doing?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. As Jim mentioned, the poll will come out, and polls are what they are. It doesn't really matter in the long run. Do you view Alabama as a top 5 team after seeing them in person?
Yeah, they're right there. But I mean, it's hard to tell right now. Who's got the staying power to stay there. But given that they've beaten two number one ranked teams, I don't see how you could deny Alabama this week top 5. That'd be kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, and how impressive was that win, being down 15 to a defense like Houston on the road with all of those young guys coming together and finding a way to win that game?
Yeah, it was really impressive. To just go to Houston and play that game was impressive, let alone go there, win it, and make that kind of comeback. And there was certainly a lot to overcome because Houston, that was an incredibly physical game, and Houston is difficult to play against, and they're difficult to play against certainly on the road. But I was really impressed by Alabama.
What do you think about Nate Oats' style? Like last year, he continued to want to run it a little bit, but the defense didn't seem to be as good as it was 2 years ago and as good as it is so far this year. How do you watch a lot of basketball? How do you like the style of play Nate tries to run in Tuscaloosa?
I think Nate runs a great style. It's fantastic, and they get up and down the floor. They want to run, and people say they want to run, they don't do it. They want to run, and they do, and that's a difficult style to play. And they've been very good to the point of truly outstanding. Like I thought a couple of years ago when they had still had Herb Jones, I thought they were Final Four good. If they made their free throws in that game in the NCAA tournament, they very well could have been. So I like his style's fantastic, and I'm a big fan.
Brandon Miller's a great scorer, but he didn't score from the field in the game on Saturday. But you have Noah Clowney, who's able to do it offensively and on the rebounds. Do you like Nate's depth on this team?
Yes, and I like the fact that their young guys are really good, really talented, and they've got a degree of sort of toughness and resiliency to them with the way they operate. So, look, Brandon Miller's not going to be there very long. He's a really good talent. I think he's going to learn to handle physical play a little bit better as he continues to mature, and that was maybe a little bit of an issue against Houston because they're really physical, and they roughed him up a little bit. But he came back in the second half and made free throws down the stretch and really had some good minutes. And then Noah Clowney was great. I mean, he had a fantastic game, and he's an NBA player. Both of them are, but Clowney, people are going to start turning their heads about Clowney in the NBA real soon because he's got NBA ability. And then I was really impressed with Jaden Bradley. I mean, he came in the game and turned the corner, made some really clutch plays, and he's got. He's not got, this blow-by speed, but he gets by people, and I was really impressed with him.
Jay Bilas with us for a few more moments on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Jay, as you like to say, we love that oblong ball here in this state and a little good defense, and Amari Burnett's defense on Marcus Sasser was tremendous and has a lot of people here excited because, as Jim said, that was something that kind of missed last year, was that lockdown type defender. Do you see that in Burnett? Was it just a good day defensively, or does he have that DNA?
No, he's a good defender. He was a very good defender at Texas Tech, and that's sort of the way they do things is they play really good, tough, hard-nosed man-to-man defense. But you don't want to go too far on that. Like Damari's fantastic, but they played a specific way on Marcus Sasser. They face guarded him, so he didn't have to help off at all. So he just guarded Sasser and stayed with them and didn't help, didn't move. They just stuck to him like glue. And then Jaden Bradley guarded him for a little while too, in different spots. But Burnett's terrific. I thought what was great was he was a little bit better offensively in that game. Knocked down a couple shots and he's a good player. He's experienced, and I think as Alabama gets older, the defense will get even better, where guys are in rotation. But handling the physicality of the game the way they did, that says a lot about their young guys, especially.
Alabama's only lost to UConn by 15. UConn's beaten everybody by double digits. The job Dan Hurley's done putting this roster together, they've got size, they can score, they can defend. Is this maybe the best team in college basketball?
It could be. Purdue's really good. I'm not sure that anybody that I've seen yet, and I agree with you that UConn's as good as anybody, stands out above the top of the heap. But they're at the top of the heap. I know that. And the way that team is constructed, they may not – I think their point guard is good, but it's not I'm not sure there's great there, but, it may not matter. They got that kid, Tristan Newton, who transferred in, and he's a good player and does a really good job. But their big guys are ridiculous. They have a Adama Sanogo and the big kid Donovan Clingan, who's 7'1", 7'2", coming off the bench as a freshman, and Jordan Hawkins is an NBA player. He shoots it. He's a first round draft pick at some point. They've got everything, and but there are other teams that can play with them, and I would love to see them play Purdue and watch all those big guys go at it. That would be fun.
Bruce Pearl told us right before the season that they would have early on a Jabari Smith, Walker Kessler problem because those two did so much for that great team last year. Can you talk a little bit about just how hard it is for some programs to transition from a great roster like Jabari and Kessler last year to working those new parts in that Bruce is having to do early on at Auburn?
Well, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to say. How hard is it to operate without two, first-round NBA draft picks and record-setting players? Jabari Smith was third pick in the draft, and Walker Kessler, blocked more shots in a season than anybody ever played there, and had triple doubles with blocked shots as one of the categories. They're still going to be, their guards are really good. They're still going to be good. Janai Broome coming in is incredibly helpful. They've got good players, but they're not the same team as they were last year. So it's going to take some time to figure out how to play that way. I was with them over in Israel this summer, and they've got good pieces, but they're one of a number of capable teams this year. But that's not the same as having what they had last year. That's a long shot from that.
All right, the chat room is begging us to remind you, Jay, that Saturday, January 7th, Kentucky comes to Tuscaloosa, and Saturday, February 25th, Arkansas is in Tuscaloosa. They would like game day there. I know you don't make those decisions, but I felt as though I needed to pass that message along.
We are well aware of the schedule, so I will pass that along to my bosses. But I wish I made those decisions because I'd rather be in warmer weather eating barbecue than somewhere in the Northeast where sometimes we go. But I wish I made those decisions, but I don't.
We one of the last times you were with us, we sent you some Redmont vodka. So let us know if you've run dry. We'll ship some more out from Charles Barkley.
Yeah, it was dry the next day.
All right, we'll replenish.
I had that same night, Friday night, Jay. It was not a good Saturday, but you did a hell of a call on Saturday from what I remember, yes.
All right, Jay Bilas, ESPN. Thank you very much for the time, Jay. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
All right, Jay with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. He's down with his Redmont LT.